This is the Eckhardt Coffee Roasters 225.
Green flag, green flag.
Down the back straightaway, coming back around to complete the first lap here tonight. Mason Thompson is hanging on to your lead at the moment. Pete Tart right there behind him. Douglas Henry clears for third. He has Matthew Leggett in the fourth spot right behind him. Here he comes up the inside. Can he get the rotation and get the position? Off of turn two, Doug gives him plenty of room. And we're keeping her green at the moment. I don't see any issues out of the field, but it's going to be tight racing all night long. You can see Douglas Henry going backwards at the moment. Stephen James looking at the inside. Look at these guys fly out of turn four. Pete Tart has not been able to really pull away, and that might not be his goal, but he's setting really good time. Clean air is everything. Look at Matthew Leggett. He gets a lot better rotation down to the bottom. Comparative to Pop-Tart Pete, who's staying a lane up. That's showing some strength in those tires. And Jacob Alisi is on the move right now. He's running down Mason Thompson for the sixth spot. Jacob Alisi is showing some speed. Jacob Alisi lost this race on the last lap through turns 3 and 4 to Aiden Gould way back in season 2. That was a long time ago. It was a different car, but he believes he still has strength, and he'll be a factor at the end. And here comes Matthew Leggett already running down Pop-Tart Pete. Caleb Elswick getting back to Gordon Spain, a cluster of 4 cars. Daniel Nance, Cody McDonald. Gordon Spain all on the top line. Contact, we're wrecking.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, big wreck, terrible. Aaron Warren involved, Gordon Spain, Cody McDonald, Jake Hare went for a ride. I think Brian Torchia barely got through it. Oh my gosh, have you ever? Car still wrecking. We saw it happen. Let's take a look at the replay. All right, corner exit here. You're going to see that cluster of 4 cars come out of turn 4. So Gordon Spain grabs the wall, comes down into Cody McDonald. This is going to be a big hit for K-Mac. Hits G-Spain back across the field. Gary Smoke, left front damage. Look at Jake Hare go airborne. Mike Hasty, the 0-2, gets some damage. Aaron Warren trying to bring it to a stop. Oh my gosh, let's watch that again. Gordon Spain. You're going to see him here. He's going to plow into the wall. And he just grabs K-Mac. There's nothing Cody McDonald can do there. And Gordon Spain is also just along for the ride as well. Woo-hoo-hoo! And we are now back racing here in the Eckhardt Coffee Roasters 225. Really good launch out of Pete Tart. Joe Houston on the outside of Mason Thompson. Maybe a checkup just in the back. The bottom line will bottleneck. That allows some momentum to be made on the top line. Flying into the corner. I thought Lane Myers was wrecking, but he just blinked out. But that means he blinked out for the majority of the field. This is tight racing right here. Off the deck lid of Aiden Gould. Look at Greg Jodiet. Big move out of Greg. Here he comes. Greg Jodiet dogging right now. He gets into the 7th spot. Really good corner. Oh, maybe a wreck. What's going on?
Yellow flag is out.
Something just happened, and it's massive. I saw Logan Wilson and Alicia get together. Daniel Nance with damage. I think Caleb Elswick was involved. So Logan Wilson is coming down the track. Alicia looks low, and Logan it's a late block out of him. He comes back up, grabs Alicia. I mean, there's just nowhere for the field to go. I don't know why Logan was wanting to block this early. Mike Hasty, Jordan Marion, Daniel Nans, Stephen James. Let's rear here of Logan. He sees Alicia looking low. He tries to block. It's too late. It's too late. Alicia gets even lower. And that's on Logan there. We got him re-racked, restacked, ready to attack. We're back racing here at Texas. Matthew Legatt, good launch. It's going to draw ECR teammates even with each other. Greg Ajodiat and Joe Houston. Lane Myers there in the third spot. Jacob Pettit, here he comes up the inside. Good drive out of Pettit. Lane Myers now has Logan Wilson and Douglas Henry 3 wide just underneath him. And Greg Ajodiat has passed Matthew Legatt for the lead. He's going to charge it in. Joe Houston now stuck on the top. Big throttle ups on the bottom are going to send him backwards. Doug gets a hold of the 4th spot. Jacob Alicia gets clipped by Ricky Whitworth. Oh no, Alicia caught up in another right at the flag stand. Oh no. Let's take a look at the replay. So we're going to watch the field fly by here fast out of turn 4. Be ready to look for that double mint green machine. Oh, just like what Gordon Spain did. Comes down, gets Alicia. I think the rest of the field will actually make it past Gary Big Miss. Here we go into the restart zone. Greg will launch, and we're back racing here at Texas. Douglas Henry moves into second. Greg Giodi at his teammate, good launch. Jacob Pettit now has to worry about Jacob Blakely. Here comes Joe Houston down on the inside. And look at Aiden Gould, big power up around the top. The difference entire 5 laps. That is a big difference here in PAL. Ask any driver. Matthew Legatt will clear and tries to run down Greg Jodiet for the lead. He looks to the outside of turns 1 and 2. He's rotating really well. Remember, 11 lap fresher tires between Matt and Greg. These guys just have to watch Legatt go by. Matthew Legatt, what a cool little tidbit of information that'd be to use sometime in the future. Wins both of the coffee races since Eckhardt Coffee Roasters has came into the series. Aiden Gould side by side with Douglas Henry. Matt will officially clear. Mason Thompson has reclosed the gap on Pete Hart. Wants to battle for that second spot. Just about there, but both have caught Matthew Legatt. Mason does not want to wait. He's going to go for it up the inside. Rear deck lid of Legatt. Mason Thompson's there. What could Pete Hart do? You heard Mason had to really get out of the throttle there, still tight in the middle. Pete will power back on around. Matt had to lift on exit, and he gets into the wall. Here comes Pete Hart, rockets up the inside. He'll get the position. Mason, he's going to try to capitalize. He looks to the inside. Lap car Ronnie Lane will make it 4 wide to get his lap back. Holy. That was insane. And now Mason is side by side with Matt. Pete Hart going to pull away just a bit. And Mason Thompson will follow through.
Just want to say to all you other drivers out there, if you have a delicious roasted smell coming in your cockpit after the race, well, that's not your tailpipe. It's also not shake and bake. It's the delicious Three Rivers blend by Eckhardt Coffee Roasters. How can we lose with coffee this good?
Use code PAL10 for 10% off your next order at EckhartCoffeeRoasters.com. That's PAL10 for 10% off your next order at EckhartCoffeeRoasters.com. And here we go. Pete Tart will enter pit road. Mason Thompson, he will follow. Can he close the distance? I believe he did make up some gap, but that's still quite a bit when you think about exiting pit road. He will need to maximize and to be perfect. Mason, can he close back in? Now it's a race to get up to speed. And look at that gap increase. Be careful. And Pete Tart comes out right in front of Aiden Gould, Matthew Legat, and Jacob Pettit, who are all battling for the lead, battling for position. The gap in the tires. Aiden Gould pit lap 20, Pete Tart lap 123. Let's see how they do battle now. It's going to be right around a 27-lap shootout for the win. Matthew Legat, Aiden Gould, older tires than Pete, but can they work together to slow him down? Jacob Pettit just off in the 4th position, and then it's Greg Ajodian in 5th. You got to look all the way back to Mason Thompson in 6th, 2 seconds off of Aiden Gould, but back to the front. I think we got ourselves a race. Aiden Gould, one of the best on pit road. And, of course, Matthew Legat proving he is also quick. But Matt looks like he wants to battle Aiden Gould. Pete Tart is right there waiting for the pair to make a mistake like this. Why go side by side now? Surely Aiden doesn't give him the position, and you're just asking Pete to capitalize, who has the fresher tires, who has been the quickest car. Will this be a blunder? 3 cars underneath the blanket for the win. Have Matthew Legat, Aiden Gould down short-sided. Logan Wilson, slow car in the middle. They'll have to split him. And Matthew Legat, Aiden Gould still side by side at the flag stand. Pete Tart watching it all at the moment. Logan Code Brown. And Matthew Legat will get the lead with 25 laps to go. It's not really going to be a straight-up sprint. You have to save a little bit. But look at this. Aiden Gould down to the inside. Pete Tart looked for the top. Matthew Legat will close the door. They are not saving. They are racing. And I still think Pete is in the best position. Even off of 4, side by side at the line. They're drag racing as they exit turns 3 and 4. Having the the throttle pinned all the way through. Aiden now goes back to the lead over Matt. I am still worried about the advantage in the Pete Tart machine as he shoots up the inside of Matthew Legat. Can Matt even defend? No, he can't. Is Aiden Gould a sitting duck? Yes, he may be. Pete Tart looks to drive underneath, gives the bumper to Aiden Gould. Aiden goes mowing, gives it back into the racing service, and now it's on. Here comes Matthew Legat, sends up the inside, 3 wide for the lead. Legat clears Gould, crossover, not going to happen. Pete Tart power down on the top line, and Pete Tart goes to the lead at Texas, leaves the 2 OG LGR members, your co-creators, Matthew Legat, Aiden Gould, in the dust. I think they've thrown this race. If either of them wanted a chance to win, they could not let Pete Tart take advantage. And Pop-Tart Pete is going to run away with it. He's had some really good long runs, but not enough to get back to the lead. But your pole sitter now looks to the inside of Aiden Gould for second. The gap is getting larger between the pair and Pete Tart. Mason Thompson charges up the inside, gets around Aiden, gets around lap carve Ronnie Lane. Now the gap, Mason Thompson to Pete Tart, 1.5 seconds. Is that even doable? One hell of a run for Pete. He's played the strategy the best. He's going to go home $75 richer and a bag of coffee on the way in the mail from Eckhardt Coffee Roasters. Pete Tart gets the win at Texas.
Never had coffee before on me. I'm fucking trying coffee now. Oh yeah, thank you, Aiden. Thank you. What a race.
Good strategy that we had there.
What a race. Yeah, thank you, thank you. That was a hell of a race between me, you, and Matt there.
You heard him. I've never had coffee before, but fuck, I'm trying it now. Pete Tart gets the win here at Texas. Mason Thompson comes up short by just under a second. Your pole sitter will go home empty-handed. Well, he does get $25 from Eckhardt Coffee Roasters. Aiden Gould in the third spot. Matthew Legatt fourth. Douglas Henry rounds out your top five, burning it down right in front of our flag stand. Pop-Tart Pete gets the win here at Texas. And he'll bring it to a stop on the front stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, your Eckhardt Coffee Roasters 225 winner, Pop-Tart Pete, goes to victory lane in 2026.
Let's go, Noah.
Pete, man, this was a race that took just masterminding of strategy, being perfect on the restarts, caution heavy at the beginning. You didn't know what was going to happen. The track cools off. The field settles in. What did you have to do, Pete, to keep this car up front?
I mean, this Madewell Vintage Toyota Supra was on absolute rails. Cold tires were pretty scary. Strategy was close between me, Aiden, Matt, and Mason there. I think at one point we were all 3 wide into turn 1, but yeah, we just tried to stay as flawless as we could on and off pit road and throughout that run, not make any dumb mistakes, and hell yeah, it paid off.
It paid off, Pete. You said, I've never tried coffee before. Fuck, I'll try it now. What do you got to say to Hayden Eckhardt up there watching? $75 richer in a bag of coffee on the way. You going to share it with Jody?
I will. Just thank you to him for sponsoring the event. Love to see new partnerships in PAL. And, I mean, quite a bit of money that he put up for this race. So glad to take that home and take home some River Blend some coffee, some Eckhardt coffee.
There we go. Use code PAL10 at checkout. Thank you, Pete. We're going to send you back down. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Noah.